Test me and see. Hello, ladies. I'm Atara Matthews from South Africa, and in today's podcast, I want to speak about the scripture that says, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse. Test me in this and see that I will open up the windows of heaven and pour out so much blessings that you cannot contain it." So, as I quoted the scripture, I may not have quoted it exactly, but that is how I have memorized it. So, as I said, this morning's podcast is concerning the windows of heaven that He has opened for me. I could sit for hours and just share all the blessings that my husband has bestowed on me since the day I started tithing. One of the biggest blessings is that I am a worker at home. I am a minister and my job is ministering, and I trust Him to open those windows of heaven and pour out His blessing on me. So, ladies, this is not an easy topic to discuss, but I do remember when I first came to the ministry and I read the How God Can and Will Restore Your Marriage book. There was a chapter on tithing. And I remember reading that chapter and just feeling so convicted because it spoke about tithing to your storehouse. And to me, I had to make a decision because I was tithing to my church at that time. But because I was reading the books from this ministry and I was daily reading them, My Beloved and Streams in the Desert, I had to take a step back and look at where I was being spiritually fed. And I could clearly see that it was not in the church that I was attending. I was going every Sunday, but there was nothing that I was learning that was making an impact in my life. And so, it took a bit of time. It wasn't easy, but I decided to start tithing to the ministry. And it wasn't easy because I live in South Africa. The ministry is in the States, and I needed to find a way to tithe. And so I needed to set up a PayPal. Needless to say, it was really difficult. But I kept on trusting Him, and eventually it all worked out, and I was able to tithe. And I want to share that was probably the best decision that I made because if you read yesterday's praise report by Lucian, you will read that she also started tithing. Go and read her praise, and she said that there was a turnaround in her situation, and I have to testify that there was a big turnaround in my marriage situation from the time I started tithing. When I started tithing, things started happening. I just started receiving so much blessing, and it was only my daughter and I. And I always share this testimony that at the time I was working as an intern. I was studying accounting. I didn't finish my degree because when I came to the ministry, I stopped because I wanted to really get into the resources and journaling, and that was what I wanted to do. And so at that time I was working as an intern for chartered accountants, and working as an intern because I was studying, I wasn't earning very much, but I did start selling Avon. And I remember that I'll never forget that I had a few Avon books. So I was selling Avon through a friend, and she would give me about 5 Avon books every month. And where I worked in town, there was a lot of office buildings, and so I would go to office buildings and I would ask the women there, can I leave the book? I would pick it up in a few days. They could give me their orders. And that really helped so much to supplement my income. The commission that I earned helped me so much. And I mean, at that time, I was a single mother. I had a little girl that I was looking after, and it was just such a blessing. And school started, and she needed school clothes, and he just provided, in gift cards from my sister to my neighbor that had given her a tracksuit and uniform. So he really did, if I think back, open the windows of heaven, and he provided for each need as it came up. And even as I'm speaking now, I'm encouraging myself, because I'm at a place in my life where, again, I'm needing to trust him, because I am my earthly husband's helper, and there is an amount of money that I need to bring in on a monthly basis, being his helper, to help him. So I'm still in a place where I still need to trust my husband to provide. And so today is the 25th of January. And so when we get to the end of the month, we have so many expenses, so many things that we need to pay, and things that we need to buy for our kids. And here in South Africa, school has just started, so there's been stationery and uniform, so many things. But he's been faithful, and he has provided. And so this podcast is just to encourage you, just like I was encouraged when I came to the ministry and I started reading the resources. It's to encourage you the way I was encouraged when I look back on my ministry, that that when I tithed, I would be protected from the devourer. So many things that were stolen from me since I started tithing has been restored. My marriage, relationships, my health. There's just been so many things that's been restored to me. And when his word says that he will open the windows of heaven, you can believe it. You can test him. Test him and see that he will pour out so much blessing that you cannot contain it. And, with tithing comes faith. We need to have faith to believe that as we give, that we can trust him, that each and everything that needs to be taken care of, that he will take care of it. And, I must say that with tithing came a lot of peace, because I would then say to my heavenly husband, I would say to him, my love, I've tithed, and this needs to be done, so I'm trusting you to provide. And in a lot of cases also, he asks me to wait, and I wait, and he always provides in the nick of time. I can't tell you how many times that has happened. And so, ladies, to end this podcast, I just want to encourage you to read the lesson, Opening the Windows of Heaven, and to click on the link that I'm going to leave in this post, which has all the praises of so many women that have tithed. And we've got a lot of lessons regarding tithing. If you are unsure, go and read them. Seek your heavenly husband, allow him to lead you. And then when you do start tithing, come back and share your praise. Let us hear what he has done. And if you are tithing, please come back and share your praise to encourage other women, so that they can also test him and see how he will open up the windows of heaven and pour out so much blessings and bless them, so much blessings also that they can't contain it.